Previously on the Goblin Market, the crew made their way to the mayor's mansion and liberated the real Book of the Dead. Which city will be left now? The one of classrooms and canapes, or the one of skeletons and darkness? Find out this week on the Dungeon Dads.
To the river they tread, only to be swept away.
Morning and evening you may hear the cry, candies and berries and baubles to try, sweet to the tongue and sound to the eye, but heed words of caution when you then decide to come by, get, come by, get.
Just beware the Goblin Market.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. You're listening to Dungeon Dads, the Goblin Market. As always, I'm your DM, Tom Blaylock, and I'm joined this week by John Watson, who's playing Dinfa inside a little girl. What's up, John?
Man, I'm having a blast over here.
The glaive is ludicrous. Like, I just every once in a while, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna get my head around it. And I just can't. It's just too ludicrous.
It's not. It's like a halfling. It's like a halfling with a giant halberd.
But that's the thing. It's like I'm imagining a human-sized halberd. I'm not imagining, a to scale halfling halberd.
That's true.
Right. And we're not doing all that stuff where we like lower your damage, which is like, strictly by the rules, like,
We can't
sword.
because whoever I'm in has to have the strength of that I'm used to working with.
No, but like
He's gliving.
I mean, like a paladin halfling, with a long sword still just does a D6, even though it's normally a D8, because it's just like it drops it down by one die size officially, right? Anyway, we're also joined by Tim Carr, who still has his Bellanand Ream and Elf as that Eabis is piloting. What's up, Tim?
Yes, I am a bit tired today. Had an early wake-up call for soccer, but I'm ready to go.
Sweet. You were playing or you were watching?
Oh, yeah. No, we had to drive an hour to get there at 8 a.m. to get the kids warmed up for a nice early game.
Oh, my God.
Okay. All right. Well, I believe in you. Your eyes look like the eyes of a man who wants to play D&D. So
I do. I very much do.
Much.
Jen was like, "You're not too tired." I was like, "Hell no, this is happening." I was like, "This is what I'm looking. This is the best part of my day."
There you go.
And finally, Sam Frank, who is playing Charnack the botanist inside a half orc, which is funny for all the reasons. But also, I do have an apology to make about the last couple of episodes. I'll just say hello, Sam. How's it going?
What? You guys are all excited. It's going to be a whole episode of classrooms and canapes. So
I think that's right. Although that would be a good.
As the introduction posed, which world is going to remain? I think it's pretty obvious. Not the one overrun by hordes of undead.
Well, before we get into it, I was re-listening to episode 29, and I realized that
Sam's the best thing about this podcast.
Yeah, I played some fuck games with you that I shouldn't have, and it was when you're dragging. You at one point you shove.
I felt like I really got away with something there.
Well, you didn't, because here's the deal. I acted like there was two actions, but shoving you can use as part of your attack action. You have multi-attack now, so you could have easily both shoved and grappled without any adjudication at all. So I apologize for playing games with that and having you do the roll, the athletics check, and doing all that stuff. It only changed things for the better because John's character was hacked to pieces, which I thought was hilarious.
Well, listen, Tom.
Is that
after
true?
Careful consideration, I forgive you.
Yeah. So Tim, here's the deal: is that like even though if he says I grab him, he didn't say I'm taking the attack action now and I'm going to grapple him, right? But like, you can substitute any attack with a shove you can substitute any attack for a grapple as well.
Is that but isn't the word on multi-attack specific to when you make a melee attack, you get to...
No, I don't think so. I
think Tim might be right. You either do the multi-attack
pull up a
or you
character
take
who
the
has
attack
extra
action to
attack.
grapple.
I guess it depends on multi-attack versus... Is it extra attack that's on your character sheet? This is a bonus conversation.
This is a bonus
we can
anyway,
extra attack. Beginning at 5th level, you can attack twice instead of once whenever you take the attack action.
Right, but that means you're taking the attack action, and then I guess is shove an attack action?
But an attack,
shove is an attack
can be a
action, and grapple
or a shove.
is also an attack action. You can substitute any attack for
Wait,
either
is
one of
it
those
an
things.
attack action or is it an attack? Let's get really into
It's an
bonus
attack.
territory.
It's an attack. It is. So the attack is a shove or a grapple. I'm telling you. I did my homework on this, fellas.
Okay. The internet is
Not agreeing
necessarily
so much.
agreeing, but I don't
Player's
know which
Handbook
5e
does.
version it's doing. Yeah, but is this old Player's Handbook?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
Whatever.
So that's the anyway. So you could have done both without having me be all whatever. So I apologize for that. All that said,
Well, clearly the rules are clear and non-controversial.
and non-controversial. And
Clearly.
all that said, we're not going to retcon the hacked up legs. So the dwarf is still all messed up. And we ended last episode with the room that had the book. It collapsed in on itself, and the only thing that's left of that room is a backpack. And you hear things falling inside the building, outside the building, and the windows that sort of looked out onto out on the street were like sort of sun baked. They were like, bright rays of sunshine coming into the mayor's office, and that light dims. There is still light coming in, and I will say that you remember it was pitch black outside when you were making your way there. So something is different about outside now. But something also is different about inside as well. So I think we will pick up where we left off, and that is when you hear a dwarf a couple of rooms over call out, "Oh, my legs are still killing me. Where are you, fellas? Help me. Help me. Shantae's not taking care of me."
Shall we...
Grab the bag. We have the book. We need to go.
The bag is on my back.
Great.
Is the book in the bag?
No, what? Do we want to put it back in? We just got it out.
We need to...
I'm just going to hold it.
Just keep it in the bag. Let no one see what we have.
Oh, damn it.
Is there anything else in here?
Don't want to go through that again. Remember, it's the pages. The pages. I shove it back in the bag.
You do put it in the bag? Oh, shit. You put the book in the bag?
That's what they told me to
Wasn't
do.
it wasn't in the bag?
It was in the bag, and then we pulled it out, and it turned back into a bag. And then I wanted to keep it out because we just went through all that
I'm
shit.
sorry, I
Now, is
misunderstood.
Tom fucking with you?
I
or is this
misunderstood
Tom
that the
fucking
room
with you?
wasn't
Yeah,
big. I
when
was
you
like,
put that
the
book.
bag is not big enough to be a room.
So I heard Eabis, I heard you say what else is in this room.
I mean,
I'm assuming you're going to look around.
Yeah, let's loot it.
do we want to see what else the mayor has? We have to find Desdemonda too.
And would Charnack know that there was? It's weird that we're hearing the dwarf because when he went back out the door, there was another like weird room.
Well, he was sitting
The
by the
spell
front
is
entrance,
broken.
right? And then
No, we didn't take him into the room with the classroom.
Right. Oh, we left him outside the classroom.
Yeah.
So we're hearing him. Does he sound like he's right outside, or does it sound like he's
No,
like
it
a
sounds
room
like
or
he's
two
a
away?
couple of, it's muffled. It's like
Okay.
definitely a little ways away. But I will say, as you sort of look around this room, you can see like a very clear, visible change here. When you first went in here, it
where I
was
get my haircut.
clearly a sort of a place where someone was doing paperwork. There were papers on the table. There were weights and measures in here. Now, granted, there was a fireball that went off in here and burnt a lot of things to a crisp. But you now see that
it's a visible changes.
That they have been. This room looks like a fireball went off in a room that has not been occupied in months, maybe years.
This is also how you find magical items because they don't get damaged.
Yes,
right.
And that's true.
Burn everything
shiny?
else.
Where's the shiny? We're just gonna turn
What's
it
left?
And but you also see that when you killed the mayor, he was clear across the room, and there were 2 secret doors that had opened up, and two people had come in, as though they were called into the room from behind a bookshelf. And the mayor, there's no body where you killed the mayor, but there is a skeleton that is slumped over at the desk. And you see that it's got rings on every single one of its fingers on the left hand. And it's holding, it's hard to tell what it is, but it definitely looks like a long writing implement that has been burnt. And you see no other bodies in this room. And the place where the secret doors opened there's still sort of bookcases there that are unopened.
Well, I want to investigate those.
Okay.
Natural 1.
Okay. So you sort of look around.
It's a 7.
Yeah, it's a 7. You sort of look around there, and it's hard to remember whether these things had slid to the side or opened up, and you're just looking. You don't see grooves in the ground. You don't see hinges.
There are too many books here. I don't know that we have time to try all of them.
We should take the rings, and then do we want to see if there's an actual chamber upstairs, or if that was going to look like this? This looks so different.
I can't see any secret doors over here. I doubt you will be able to either.
And the chest that was full of gold is still there, but it's closed.
I'm gonna try to open it.
Okay.
I'm going to go over to the body with the rings.
Okay. The chest opens right up, and it has hundreds of small pieces of paper that are that have sort of scribblings on it, and you pick up one of them
with images of a man with long hair, different numbers written on them,
and it says, the first one says 50 gold to Minister Rollins, and the next one you see another one that says 3,000 gold to Minister Parthath. And then you open up another one and you realize all of these things are essentially IOUs, or sort of like lending notes, but they're not specific. It's just an amount of gold and who it was given to.
This is definitely what was lent out.
That's what it seems like. It seems like this is lent from the mayor's sort of box here.
Dinfa, can you fit this box in that bag?
Wait a second.
13 investigation on the rings.
Okay. So 4 of these rings are charred, and then 1 is just absolutely pristine here. They're all gold. The ones that are charred have stones, nothing precious, garnets, quartz, and then the one that is absolutely pristine is actually, it looks like a wedding ring. It's just a band. Mm-hmm. But it's everything else in this whole room looks like it has soot on it or dirt, dust. This is absolutely pristine.
So I grabbed that one. If I rub one of the other ones that's charred, does it look like it's destroyed or maybe still worth money?
I mean, I think it's all worth money. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
So yeah, I'm gonna take the nice one, put it in one hand. I'm gonna take the other ones and put them in the bag. And then
this ain't the March of Dimes.
Exactly. And then I'm gonna Eabis, take a look at this. And then I'm going to try to get the chest in the bag.
Okay.
Will it fit in the bag? Probably not.
So when you remind me, does a bag of holding require attunement?
No.
Okay. So as
a bag of holding.
Well, I don't know. I can't remember.
You got to sleep on it, and then you can have something
John
from it.
doesn't know either. That's what I'm laughing at.
So you take this chest and you start to put it toward the bag, and it's clear that the bag is way too small for a chest this size to go into it. But it's almost like the bag can read your intentionality.
Okay.
And it's sort of like you can feel the chest sort of shrinking as it gets closer to the thing, and you're able to put it inside of it.
Oh, sweet. Got it.
Oh, good. It may not be useful, but it seems that the mayor lent money to many people. So if we find ourselves running into them, perhaps we can collect on behalf of the mayor.
I like it. List of conspirators.
Exactly. And who knows who we will find outside.
Right.
Shall we try to find Desdemona? Have we looked around?
And we said that the doors, there were secret rooms.
Those are just bookcases.
Yeah, during the fight, the other two guys saw these bookcases sort of open.
Yeah, the women came out of them before.
And these two women who seem to be caretakers or something came out of these things, and then Eabis promptly burned them up. No, he didn't burn them up. You had hunger for Dara.
I threw a fireball and I killed everybody in the room except for the mayor.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And us.
And but so I wouldn't know anything about that anyway.
No,
you see Charnack over looking at these things. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know that they were doors.
I'm gonna walk over and.
There should be doors here, but I believe they are beyond the capacity of our party to discern.
I don't think they were real, Charnack.
Hold on. 18.
Yeah, it's actually, I mean, it's pretty obviously not bookcases. It's pretty obviously doors. I mean, there's no books really.
I don't think it's obvious at all.
Like one of the shelves, it has this place that has like a little handle that you can clearly see. I mean, it's all pretty obvious. And if you pull it, it slides like a barn door. And as you slide one of these things open, you see the skeletons of 5 people in here. Surrounding them, there's rotten food. There are swords in here. If you had to guess, it looks like they were hiding with food. Basically, they were like trying to weather out whatever was happening on the outside.
Ugh. What happened here is so horrific.
I'm gonna mess with the swords. Are they brittle or maybe good?
Steel short swords.
All right, I'm grabbing the swords, putting them in the bag.
What a wondrous treasure we have.
Charnack, it's here. You move this here. Try the other one. It's this one. Do you see? This one.
I would have figured it out eventually, of course.
I am sure.
My eyes. I'm not used to the eyes of this half-orc. They're dull and
Aha.
hard
Yes.
to manage.
Just look again. It's this. You see me. This.
And the other one has a similar handle, Charnack.
All right, I'm going to open it.
Okay. So when you open it, there's no one here.
As I already intended to do.
There's a narrow staircase that leads up from here.
Well, this one's got stairs. Dinfa, I think you should lead the way.
Yes. 1 second.
Clank, 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 clank. Got the swords. I hand Eabis, because I am now messing with a lot of stuff. I hand Eabis the book.
Okay.
And then I take out the halberd and I begin walking up the stairs.
Okay.
We have the resources of the Goblin Market at our disposal. I don't think we need to be scavenging steel.
What Goblin Market? We don't know if the Goblin Market is the right Goblin Market. I know we think we have them, But things have been changing around us.
Exactly. We are on our own, Charnack.
I can't believe I'm saying this to you, but no need to be pedantic.
Well, how about I do some collecting and then you figure things out for us? How about that?
Don't let me stop you from following your dreams.
Are those stairs? Let us explore upstairs.
All right. I'm walking up.
Okay.
I'm following 8 feet behind.
Okay. So as you're following, give me a perception check.
Both of us?
No, just you, Charnack.
Oh, just me. 16.
So it's the fucking damnedest thing. You are following Dinfa as he is walking up the stairs. And you could swear that when the light hits the right way, you can see straight through him. He's walking up as this little girl. And it's almost
Eabis,
like
you better come. We're getting weird stuff up here.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
And
More illusion back in timey nonsense.
What? I say nothing.
and as you walk up these stairs, magical lanterns sort of turn on.
Oh,
And
did you see that, Dinfa?
No, saw that.
Sure you did.
And you arrive upstairs, and it is clearly a well-apportioned bedroom. It actually looks... Now, it was well sealed off. There's no windows here. There's no, just this door is the only way to get up in here. It looks like kind of like a safe room up here, probably meant for the mayor. But as you go up, and Eabis, you make your way up as well, and you can see that Dinfa is fading. And
Is it as he progresses further, or is it just like he's just over time, or we don't know?
You don't know. When you get on the stairs, you're up, and you. It's super obvious when you get up there. Charnack's fine. And you get upstairs in the bedroom.
This is Dinfa as the little girl.
Dinfa as a little girl, yes.
Okay.
And Dinfa, you get in the room and give me a wisdom saving throw.
Saving throw.
Charnack, is Dinfa fading?
21.
He appears to be, yes.
You
or perhaps the girl's body is fading and his spirit will be left abandoned.
That is the same idea I have, is perhaps she is fading with the world change.
Why are you whispering? Come in here.
So you see the bed. And the bed is made, but it has a small lump in the middle of the bed. And this like extreme fear just courses through you for a moment, and you're able to sort of shake it off. But you know what's in this bed.
What's in the bed? What's in the bed? What's in the bed?
What's in the bed?
Dinfa, this is the little girl, and you know this is the little girl.
The little girl is in the bed. Okay, I take shaky hands and I try to grab the covers. Do I see that I'm fading away?
And you cannot touch the bed.
Ah, shit.
Dinfa, perhaps you should come back.
Guys, I may need another body.
That's why I think you might need to come back. Your body looks like it is becoming invisible, but obviously none of us have cast that, and it is much faster when it tricks. So the only thought that comes to mind is perhaps that somehow the girl was tied to the illusion and the book.
I think that little girl was dead when you reamed her.
Oh, God. It's so terrible. It's so terrible. Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
This is going to get flagged as the wrong kind of content.
Fuck.
Sam's so proud of himself.
Sam is so happy about this.
Broken. Jesus.
Frankly, I did not expect that big a reaction.
God.
I think we have to run down. You may have to take back over the man you came in with.
Shit. All right.
Quickly.
All right. Can just look through the room.
I will run and get him. Charnack, stay with Dinfa.
Yeah, mincemeat legs ain't coming up here fast.
No, I know.
That's
Halberd is on the ground. Bag of holding is on the ground.
I'm running to him. And just take off.
Don't worry, I'll pick up the stuff.
Okay.
I go through the door in the direction of the dwarf.
Okay, so you run. So as you are running, and now it's interesting because you do not feel the floor as you're running, but you are still moving as though you're running.
Mm-hmm.
And you get into the mayor's office, and then there's something that happens, and suddenly the light is streaming back into this office, and you see the mayor sitting at the chair again. But you know you need to get your body, and I'm assuming you're going to keep running.
I'm gonna just try to keep going toward the dwarf.
I'm also on my way that way. So Charnack is up there on his own.
I'm up in the room by myself, and I'm like, well, looks like it's just you and me to the corpse.
Yeah. So yeah, Tim. So Eabis comes down, and you're just following this more and more ethereal like version of this little girl. And you see he sort of slows down in the office, but like he keeps running for the door.
Dinfa, quickly.
And you go into the classroom, and you see that there's only one table left of children in the classroom, and they're screaming at each other. And the teacher is there, and he says, "You have failed as well. I will now take your magic from you." And he looks up at you and he says, "Cloronda, what are you doing? Get back in your seat. Show them how it is done."
Yep, I just need to use the bathroom. I run to the other.
and you emerge in the other room, and there's and all the people who were sort of preparing for lunch and having the canapes there, and you see your aunt in the room, and she's holding a lantern, but she doesn't see you at all, and you begin to fade.
And I assume I'm seeing an empty old house,
an empty
hallway, and a fading Dinfa.
And then Dinfa does not even open the door, runs through the door out of the classroom. And what do you do, Dinfa?
I'm just looking for the dwarf.
He's there on the ground.
All right, I jump into his body.
Okay. And so you actually see Dinfa completely disappear.
Shit. Dinfa.
Wait. No, I did it. I'm in the dwarf. It is me.
Yeah.
I'm so fucked up.
I bet your feet hurt.
Yes, a lot. Jeez.
Desdemonda says, "So it is done. It is done."
We think.
Desdemonda, you are here. Okay, good.
Yes,
we saw you. I don't have any recollection of the classroom, right?
No.
Yeah, I don't think either one of us does.
We were in the hallway with you, and then we went into another room, and the mayor was there, and you were nowhere to be found. I didn't know what happened. Yes, it appears that everything is fixed now that Dinfa is in his dwarven body again.
It's not fixed. I can't cast anything.
What do you need to cast?
I don't know, but my magic is gone. Everything is gone.
Does Dinfa remember being in the classroom? Because I know he wouldn't. Okay. I'm just like imagining this like in my head, like intercut as a movie, and like you seeing all the stuff and me running through the empty room, and I was like, this is just very cool visually.
Yeah.
Like to shoot this two ways of like what you see and then me running through.
Eabis, I will stay here. I am fine. I don't know if I can walk yet. I will work on that. Maybe if you go back to Charnack, get the book, and get
I have the book. You gave me the book.
Maybe if you touch the book, does that do anything? Do you know the book?
No. First, we all have to be together.
I thought we put the book in the bag.
No, but then he said he handed it to me.
I handed it to him.
So he may have
Tom
taken it back out of the
Tom
bag.
freaking
I don't
out
know.
too
I thought it
much.
was in the bag too. It was fine. He handed it to me, so I've got it.
Yeah.
All right. So Desdemonda is looking at the book, and she is elated, terrified, but ultimately, like, in her mind, she walked in this room, and it was almost like one of these like portal rooms where she walked in and she came out and she doesn't have magic anymore.
Right.
And we're going to go back to Charnack.
All right. I want to investigate the corpse on the bed.
Okay.
With the
Gross.
It is, there's no meat left. It's all skeleton. The dress that Dinfa was wearing in the little girl's body is under the bed.
So what you're saying is no need to check for a pulse.
No need to check for a pulse. And there's hair, obviously, on her head that was like matches.
Anything unusual, markings, anything where I could determine cause of death or any arcane interference?
I'll let you do sort of a medicine check and an arcana check for more information. It's just a pile of bones as far as you're concerned right now.
Arcana 9, medicine 13.
So the medicine 13, like, you sort of inspect, you can tell that she was not injured here. There's no blood stains. There's no obvious trauma to her head or to her legs or arms or anything. Arcana 9 is difficult. The only thing weird about the positioning is that she has both of her hands inside of her mouth. Like she
okay, yeah, that's weird.
Not like she's eaten them, but like almost like she was like sucking her fingers or something as she was in this bed.
Is there like rot in the bed? Does it look like her body was put here and then rotted, or was her skeleton placed here?
So it looks like there's rot here. Yes.
Okay. I want to. So the rest of the room it's closed off. There's no windows.
Yeah, I mean,
there's.
I'll let you look around. There's a another bookcase. There is a plate of food that was like clearly out here. It's so far gone that it doesn't even smell bad. Like it's it's been here for so long,
dusty.
But I'll let you look around.
Okay. Does that mean you want me to roll a perception?
Yeah,
check?
you give me a perception check.
16.
Okay, so pretty quickly you stop looking for like things having to do with her death, and you just start looking around for shit in this room. And underneath the bed, you discover a very loose floorboard, and you're able to sort of pull up the floorboard, and you find it's like a small lockbox. No lock on it, but it's like made to lock, and inside there are 2 scrolls. There's a letter, and there is a fucking giant symbol of Mistra that is 100% silver in here.
I'll read the letter.
Okay. So the letter was written in a very like young person script. It looks like someone who's just learning to write Common, and it starts Dear Desdemonda, I'm so glad you got out. Father says you're dead, but I know you're not dead. I can still feel you. And then it's signed Claranda.
All right. The scrolls are spell scrolls.
But yes, both of them are spell scrolls, level 1 spells. You can tell me what they are later.
Okay. Can I do an investigate the symbol of Mistra?
Yeah.
Arcana or investigation?
This is going to be do investigation, and then it'll determine if there's another roll after that.
Okay. 13.
Yeah. I mean, what I'll tell you is that this is in a place that favors Shantae. Not that Shantae and Mistra are enemies by any means, but this is out of place here. This having someone who very obviously prays to Mistra in a town of Shantae, basically, it's weird. No reason to think this is in particular a magical amulet or anything like that, though.
Right. When we recalling back to the room where we fought the mayor, when everything disappeared, was there a body in there?
When everything disappeared in the mayor's office?
Yeah.
So there was no body.
Everything was scorched. There were rings.
There was a skeleton. There was a skeleton at the table.
It was the mayor's. I mean, he was dressed the way the mayor was when you fought him.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to take the symbol and the scrolls. Just a second here. Boy, I am in bad shape. Got 11 hit points and no spell slots.
Oof. Imagine Eabis is on the way back up per the conversation with Dinfa, so.
Sure.
And
Desdemonda's with you.
I'm just here in the hallway. Can't move. Doobie-doobie-doo.
Just looking at his legs, trying to wiggle his toes.
Wiggle your big toe.
All right, I'm going to shoulder the bag of holding.
Okay.
But I'm not putting the Mistra symbol in it. I'm putting that in my pocket. And the scrolls. And I'm assuming I hear them coming, so I'm going to wait.
Desdemonda comes up and looks around and how did you leave the body?
I didn't touch it.
Okay.
But I'm going to hand her the letter.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, we have experienced magical interference as we made our way through this house, as though we were traveling through the memories of someone who once lived here.
Yes.
I believe all signs point to Claranda, and I believe those are her remains there.
I knew she would not be alive.
I believe she is not alive, and yet somehow she struggles to rest. Do you know how to put her restless spirit at ease?
I fear that I do, and I'm very afraid of what it means for me. And she takes the letter and opens it up and reads it and starts to cry. And
there is no need to fear giving someone the rest that they need.
We cannot give it to her here. We must take this back to the market.
Take this?
We must take the book back to the market.
The book, yes.
There is a place. I will show you where. I dare not touch that book. Thank you for bearing it.
I kind of... No, I'm just kidding.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, listeners. I gestured like I was going to... smack
Yes,
her with
they-
it or poke her with it. I'm just kidding.
I was about to say the halfling has showed remarkable resistance to its evil.
Yeah, right.
But he's not a halfling.
No, I'm an elf.
Then let us go. There is no more need to tarry. We should depart at once.
We
Yes,
should,
let's-
unless there is a cache of things the mayor will no longer need that might be valuable or useful. Desdemonda.
Well, he had always had a chest full of money that he was. Yeah,
There was
many
a chest.
realms,
There was no
many-
money.
Yeah. Well, many realms have usury, but in this realm that I am from, it was whoever was in charge of a town handled all lending and collections, and everyone owed the mayor.
Yes, we found the receipts, but there was no money.
Well, I don't know then.
Do you happen to know where Lord Parthafarth's treasury is?
Yes, he was a.
I believe that was one of the names.
Not Lord Pastor? Was it Pastor? Or
Parthenarth.
Parthenarth, yes.
Yes, he is.
Does he go by any other names?
He goes by the brewer master of Bellanand. He was his ale and his spirits were second to none. His house is too far. If we can, maybe we should come back here. This is not the time for base looting, gentlemen. This is a once proud city.
He may believe that, but there are many spirits in this city now that believe they are second to none.
Well,
I elbow Dinfa. No, he's not there.
He's not there. Speaking of Dinfa, the door to the outside is actually wide open, and
his legs are really starting to kill him as gangrene sets in.
Yeah, and you can see out there that there are skeletons that are like littering the sort of marketplace just outside the mayor's mansion. But it is totally quiet. No birds, no people, no nothing. And the thing that you notice, even sitting on the ground looking out, is that the stars are out. The stars and the moon is out. And it looks like a normal nighttime in any place that has just one moon and one star. And it's actually quite lovely outside.
If I use my fighter ability and take a second wind, can I stand?
Yes, I'll let you take a second wind and stand and get some hit points back.
Okay.
You're still going to be fucked up, but
yes,
your movement speed is going to be halved for this.
I'll take that.
Yeah, that's one tier higher than where you are right now. Just totally fucked up.
Yeah.
Half is better than zero, baby.
All right, I'm gonna do a D10 here. All right, 6, and my level is 7. No, 5.
Yes.
Okay,
5.
so I get my 11
For
points, and I'll stand. I'll stand up, and I will. I don't have. I pull a sword out of the. No, I don't even have the backpack.
No.
Damn it, I gave them everything.
I'm gonna go out the door and poke one of the skeletons. Everything just seems to be inert. It's just all just dead.
Inert.
Okay.
Inert. Dead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stand and take in the fresh air for a minute.
Yeah.
We've been on the run. We've been in weird realms.
How fresh is it?
Yeah, it's fresh. It's super fresh. It's actually crazy.
Super old skeletons.
Right.
The skeletons are down, but I mean, you've rarely been in a city that is this big that hasn't had fires roaring at all hours of the day. There's the blacksmith shop. That hasn't the forge. The forge hasn't been running in months and
Not
months,
to mention
maybe years.
human effluvia running in the streets.
That's right. Like this
just smells like dusty bones.
Just nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's silent. weird, but it's like you said. There's a beautiful night. Stars are out, and we can for a minute relax. I'm just going to take it in.
And the rest of the crew come down, and you find him standing outside, like looking at the city, what's left of it.
What have you grown your feet back?
I just concentrated a bit on wiggling these toes, and eventually I was able to stand.
Good.
I can't move very fast, but you don't have to carry me.
I have a potion if that will help you, but it might be better saved in case we run into more trouble.
We can save it. I think we are fine for now. Although, can I have my halberd or something?
Charnack, can you hand him his things?
I just have the bag. Are they in the bag?
I dropped the halberd at your feet upstairs.
There's no time. Let's go. Let's go.
No.
I march back in at half speed and go grab my goddamn helmet.
I will get it. Stay there and I'll dash.
and they wait for you to come get it. You get to bring it back. And while you're sitting out there, Desdemona looks around and she says, here, help me with this, Charnack. Help me with this. And she is throwing casks of ale out of a palanquin. And she says, let's put him in here. Let's put him in this.
How far do we need to go? We can't just go back to the market now?
We have to go back to where we left the portal. I don't have my magic to open up another one. This is what I'm saying to you. That was supposed to be just a backup, just in case I died in this trip. I'm telling you, my magic is gone. I don't know if even resting will get it back.
I get up on the cart and I move a cask off, but I also throw up some blood on it. Are you happy now?
Yes, very happy.
Desdemona, what do you think happened? Why do you not have any magic?
I don't know what happened with that. No, but I.
What do you remember?
Maybe she just needs to believe in herself again.
I remember leaving the hallway and seeing the mayor, but when we came back, there was a room in between that we had to walk through. I do not remember that room at all.
We walked into the room, but I immediately walked out and I couldn't go back in the room.
I believe you know more of this situation than you are letting on, Desdemona, but the conversation can wait until we return, I imagine.
Yes, I'll fill you in with what I know, but some of it is just conjecture, unfortunately.
I feel like our briefing on this situation could have been much more extensive.
Yeah. So
well, let us get back to the market. It looks like we should keep our eyes open, but it looks like it will be a much easier trip on the way back.
Dinfa, can you halberd people from the back of this cart?
Yes, Eabis, thank you for bringing it to me. I was feeling
naked?
A bit. It felt as if I only had one arm. I don't know if I can explain that correctly, but now I feel complete. At last, my arm is complete again.
You have to use this long pole to compensate for something, and without it, you feel like half a man.
I'll better compensate your half a man, Charnack. Let's get moving. I can halberd just fine from here.
I shoot Desdemona a knowing look.
If any skeletons come up, you choppy.
All right. So you guys get back to the library. The town it's more of the same. There are dead everywhere, but they are truly dead. And they are where you left them as well. So it's not like you go back to this town and now the merchants were where the merchants were selling when they died and all that stuff. No, where you had fights, that's where they are lying.
So there's some evidence of our interaction with them. Yeah.
For sure. And outside the library, that carnage that you left is definitely still there. But when you get back up in the room, the Hammer brothers are not there. They didn't leave a note. They didn't do anything like that. it looks like probably they realized things were okay, and they fucking bolted.
I know what their problem is. They think they're better than us.
And
not even a word of thanks or gratitude. Well, that's not what old Charnack's in it for anyway.
So you get into this
I'm
room.
not saying it wouldn't be nice. But it's not my overriding goal. You know, we don't do this for the thanks and the prestige and the honor.
Yes,
We're
indeed.
fulfilling contracts here.
If you can live a life without an audience, then, well, you should. It's Desdemona says
if the choice is between an audience of none or an audience of chattering ghouls, I will choose none every time.
So the portal's still there, and Desdemona says, do not walk through right now. Listen, we cannot bring these bodies back with us. Leave it to me. Leave these bodies, enter back into the lantern, and I will set them free. I worry most about the dwarf, but they have served their purpose.
What of the material things which we need to bring back with us?
Give them to me, and I will take them. Oh God, I cannot touch the book.
Can you touch the bag?
Here, load them up in the palanquin, and I will walk through with the palanquin. Your bodies are there waiting for you as soon as... Listen, one of you needs to grab this book as soon as we arrive in the Goblin Market. Fitzrawl will be called to it like a wild werewolf.
But then what?
There's a place that we will take it. He knows this is the plan. He helped us put together this plan. It's just that...
What?
An artifact like this with this many souls locked in it. This is something that one such as he is not well equipped to resist.
So, Dinfa, you will be holding the book once we return.
But as long as I can get into a proper body. Hopefully Bask is there.
Marquis de Hage has promised me that he will be there with your bodies as we return.
All right. I jump out into the lantern.
And she says, fuck. Hello, dwarf. Would you mind exiting the palanquin, please?
Oh, I feel a little better.
Yes, I need you to get out, please.
Okay. What
Half-orc, help him.
How did I get here? What has happened?
I help him out. I say, Shantae has cleansed your land and healed your wounds somewhat, but the rest will be up to you. As you know, Shantae helps those who help themselves.
Why do you sound so different?
The will of Shantae moves through me. You will have to pull yourself up by your own fucked up bootstraps.
And Gargurth just surveys the carnage, but also takes a moment to see the moon and the stars, which he hasn't seen for a very long time. And the beauty of seeing that juxtaposed with the destruction that's around him, he's just overwhelmed, and he gets out of the palanquin and just begins to weep and slowly make his way back towards his temple.
Charnack very awkwardly pats him on the back. There.
He barely registers and just keeps moving. And not looking back, just says, "I hope
you will take care of my friends. They know where to find me.
And keeps moving.
Eabis, Charnack, come into the lantern.
Okay, and I sort of tuck the things in so they're solid on the palanquin and not obviously facing these bodies that we're going to be evacuating in a second. Okay.
All right, go for it, Eabis.
And I move to the lantern.
It has been a trying time, but Shantae has cleansed your land. I feel like, what's his name in Jumanji?
Yeah.
Grasp the jewel and say its name. You will have many trials ahead of you, but Shantae moves through you and shall enable you to restore this land to its proper glory. You will have to shovel many dry bones first.
Gargrith?
Gargrith has already proceeded to the temple. He awaits you there.
Gargrith!
And it's true, he is alive. It is not a way of saying he's on the farm. He approaches the temple in his own body.
She jumps out and begins moving in that direction.
Come, Charnack, let's go.
All right, Charnack puts the spell scrolls and the symbol of Mystra in the bag. Says, very well. It will be nice to be back in my... Blood comes out between his giant upturned underbite fangs. And very well. Charnack leaves the body.
And Desdemona puts her hand on your shoulder and says, you have done your God proud. You have saved this city. I know you will not remember it. Let whatever comes next here, in our sweet town, let the people know that it is the three of you and all those who worked to get you to this library to save the town. Go with Shantae. Your friends await you at the temple.
And he gets out of the cart and face plants on the ground because he's so fucked up. And the elf turns around and runs back to him and begins trying to mend him as everybody's leaving.
Yeah. And without any more ado, she pulls the palanquin and the lantern out back into the goblin market. And immediately you feel, as soon as you walk through this portal, you can sense your dedicated reams very close by. Markeef de Hage is there, and the three of you are sort of sitting up against a tree in a garden you do not recognize. It is not where you went through originally. And
I do not recognize this garden. This is not where we went through originally.
And you going to go in your bodies?
Immediately.
Yep.
Now, our ream bodies are there. Are our natural bodies there as well?
Oh, sorry. Yes, your natural bodies are there. Your reams are actually not here. Sorry. Your reams are not here. These are your actual natural bodies. I apologize. That's correct.
So, quick question. We jump into our natural bodies. Are we completely healed?
Yes. You have...
Per your Kyber character.
Character. Yes, that's right. That's right.
Charnack stands up in his wizened, gnarled, old, wrinkled gnome body. He goes, oh, thank God, that was a nightmare.
So it's a kind of a twilight haze here on the astral plane, as it always is. And you can still hear all the sounds of the traders. You're not far. You look around, you're not far from the tower, but you are in a part of the goblin market that you do not recognize, closer to where the farms were. If you recall, the sort of setup of this is like the tower's in the center. there's like buildings around in a concentric circle. Then there's a gate to the far south, and there are some buildings that are around the tower, and then it's farms like all around. And you actually didn't see this grove of they do not look like they're of the astral plane. These look like trees from Faerun, or trees from A69, or trees from A12. And when you pick up the book, Dinfa, it feels super heavy, like 50 pounds. And there are whispers coming from it. And it's sort of like at the edge of your hearing of what the whispers are saying. First it sounds like a little bit of a hum, but then you can tell it's actually like whispers in lots of different languages all happening at the same time. And you feel warmth, heat coming from the book. And there are two almost ethereal things coming from the book, like very tiny threads. And you see that one thread extends straight up the tower, and one thread extends right into your chest.
Desdemona, you have been less than forthcoming about this, but it is clear that this book now contains a multitude of souls, which would be integral for anyone on the path to lichdom and irresistible for consumption to anyone who has taken those steps. How do we free them? We must do it immediately.
Yes, and Marquis de Hage steps up and he says, "Okay, you brought it back. I wish I could say that's good, but it means a choice must be made. Come with me. The curator awaits. The curator awaits. Come.
This book is very heavy. I'm coming as fast as I can.
I could not carry it if I were you." And he leads you. He leads you like deep into this grove. I say deep in this grove. Like the grove is probably a 60 by 60 foot patch of trees. So it's not like a forest. Like you can see around it as you're sort of moving into it. There are sort of veils of smoke that are appearing in different places in this grove. And he eventually leads you to this circular door that's carved into the bones of a petrified tree that's in the middle of this thing. It's the dead center of this grove. And
it's very Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, he says,
Christmas Town?
He says, "You must not tarry. Fitzroy is barely able to contain himself inside his tower when that book draws so close. You'll need to be in the vault to be safe. Go. You too, Desdemona. You will be necessary in there as well." And Desdemona says, "Okay, how do we open the vault?" And Marquis de Hage says, "The vault knows you have magic with you. It will open. Just present the magic."
I just walk up to the door, book in front of me.
And it just opens. It opens like there was no door there to begin with, just a short tunnel to another room.
This seems like a very unsafe way to have a door, if all it needs is something magical.
I can't get in the room fast enough.
Yeah.
But yes, then I walk in the room.
I let everybody, so that I don't get it closed behind me, I let everybody in first, and then I go in.
Okay, good. Okay, so Desdemona comes in, and it's just the three of you and Desdemona. And it's this serene stone chamber, and it's lit by violet-colored crystal braziers, and at the center is a plinth that's sort of pulsating in like light purple light. And you see from the far hallway, you see this, it's very hard to describe. It's a mass of paper that is moving as though with almost like there are legs and arms and head, but the papers are all sort of like wrapping themselves around each other as though like someone's balling them up and unfurling them, and then they ball up again as they move. And it is the shape of a person, and it moves right up to you, and lips form in paper in blacks and whites, and it sounds a lot like Idea, actually, as it sort of moves and speaks, but except it's paper and not stone. And it says, "The vault does not judge. It remembers. Some untether and deposit the treasures as they are told. Some use them up or keep them for themselves. But this place where items can be free of the tendrils that feed powerful beings. Can you see them? The strands that stretch out. Each tendril is a promise, woven from will and wrapped in soul and spun across the plains in the yearning to hold on to." And he looks at you, Dinfa, and he says, "On the plinth, Dinfa."
And I walk over there.
And he looks down at you and he says, "I see 2 threads in this book. One tied to you, Kuiper, and one to the king of all goblins. Your thread links you to a dead goblin, a vessel of the old stag, a lich who does not wish to die. One binds to the deathless who wish he could forget. Fitzroy wants you to sever his tie."
All right. Is this like a spider web where I just wave my hand, or do I need to pull something out?
No. So he sort of like, he lets it sink in, and he looks at the other 2 of you and he says, "You have saved this book, the 3 of you. So you must decide together. You have options, and I will show you how. You can sever the thread to Fitzroy and pull the thread that leads to the corner of your soul where a dearly departed now barely holds on to the light. But doing so will release the book back out into the world where someone else will one day discover it, and this whole drama will play out again. Desdemonda will die, but Fitzroy will weaken, and your goblin maid will return. You could pull the thread for Fitzroy, and the book will find its way to another city where it can feed more, and his ascension to godhood will progress at breakneck pace. In this way, Desdemonda will keep the life that he once granted her in this very room. You could cut both threads, though, and leave the book here with me, and I will hide it so none can ever profane its pages again. Or 4, the 3 of you may eat the souls inside, consuming the power for your own ends, weakening Fitzroy, ending Desdemonda, and the last flitter of Zagat. But something else will be created somewhere, perhaps another book of the dead, or perhaps a candle that never dims, or something even we could not imagine. All things in balance quietly forever. Speak your intent or your questions, and I will answer them as clearly as I can."
Shit.
Fuck.
You first, Dinfa.
I want Zagat back.
Then just pull her thread and cut Fitzrawls, and I will grant it to you. She will be back with the stag.
It brings the stag back as well?
Would you like to speak with her?
Before we get into that, I have one preliminary question and one that cuts to the heart of the matter. A preliminary, where does one find a plinth such as this?
It is made by a dead curator. We are of the market, created and survived of the market in all our different materials.
I have many a gnomish maid has come to my abode with the promise of seeing a pulsating purple plinth. And I think it would be incredible if I actually had one.
And the curator does not answer you, you fucking asshole.
The second question, and really more of a comment. None of these options suffice. There are thousands of souls in this book, and they have rights just as we do.
The souls have been... Let me explain this in a term that you might understand.
Use any terms you like. I am an educated gnome.
Think of this book as an oven.
Oh, Jesus.
The book has devoured the souls. They will not be finding their way out. Any way except one who wishes to ascend to godhood, which I assume that the three of you who have already taken the first baby steps are perhaps interested in. Fitzrawl, who even now I can feel his attempts, his willpower. It was waning. He was already out of the tower and on his way here to intercept you. A book of this power. You do not control the way it unleashes. You cannot return souls to bodies.
Except for the one you are promising.
No. The souls returning to bodies is not his issue. They should be released into the ether where they may find their own way through the planes.
This is not how it works. I would not expect you to understand.
I reject your answers wholeheartedly.
You must be unanimous in your decision, or else I will not let you leave.
If there is power to be consumed here, then there is also power to be released and relinquished.
Yes. If you cut both threads, it will be relinquished from human usage. But it will be forgotten, not unleashed.
And you said something equally terrible will reform if we cut it out of reality?
No. If you cut it out of reality and leave it here in this sanctuary, I will hide it for all of time. It will be poised to release its power, but never release its power because there will not be a vessel there to accept it.
And no one can come to take it from you.
And no one will ever find the place where I put it. My halls are full of dangerous magics like this that no one will ever find again. It is what the Goblin market is entirely built upon.
And serve as an eternal hell for the souls trapped within.
Their souls are damned, no matter which choice you make.
Charnack, I speak from experience. Sometimes souls are just damned. I would very much like to see Zagat again. But it is also possible that her course has been run. And that we recovered this book simply to tuck it away, never to be found. I am open to your ideas. It would certainly be helpful to become stronger. The next time we run into Fitzroy will not be easier unless we are stronger. But I don't know that being a god was on anyone's contract.
You have fought with Fitzroy.
Briefly. We more fought his minions and got away.
Fitzroy, the king of all goblins, here in this plane of existence? Or do you speak of Bodum?
Yeah, so Fitzroy is the one who is in charge, is our current goblin leader, right?
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Oh,
And-
so I'm switching. It was Bodum that we fought. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Tom was trying to help you on that in character.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I'm just trying to make sure my head is straight out of character.
No, I think out of character, I think this is interesting because, I mean, this book is actually tied to Fitzroy.
Mhm.
Like, Fitzroy has been benefiting from the souls that were being eaten by this book. And he is your friend. Or the one that you now have a pact with.
Right.
If we cut off Fitzroy from this book, what kind of danger are we in?
Yes, does it make us enemies?
No, he longs for this book to be untethered from him. It will weaken him a great deal, but he does not have the willpower to do what you may well do here. As curators, we do not understand your true motivations. We only understand the choices and we must abide by them. No one will ever know what choice you made inside this room.
And Desdemona says, but I will know. And the curator looks over at her and he says,
I give you a very small chance of surviving this choice one way or the other, Desdemona. You have borrowed enough time. Fitzroy granted you life, and when he did, this book was unleashed onto the world.
Desdemona, did we fulfill your contract?
yes, my contract is fulfilled. I wanted my city freed of the power of this evil item. And it is freed.
Wait a minute. What happened? Why is your life tied to this book? You created this?
No, I did not. It was not originally, well, it was not a book. Fitzroy told me that there was a powerful sword that was used by an enemy lich of his, a Gith named Vlakith. And he defeated her. Well, he did not defeat her, but he took the weapon which siphoned souls for her in the great battles of the Gith against all enemies on the Astral and beyond. And he brought that sword into this room, and he chose to give life back to me. We were always friends long before I was in the Goblin Market. And he had no idea that the book would be, something would be created in a realm where I was from. Everyone in Bellanand is dead because he did not want to let me go.
So he was faced with a similar decision.
He says he was. And you should know that whatever is created will be connected to you, those that made the choice.
Dinfa, Eabis. I do not believe I exaggerate when I say this is the greatest evil we have encountered. It is one thing to slaughter across the plains, but to allow those souls, to deny them the respite of death and release, and capture them in eternal torment for consumption is beyond anything I have seen.
It makes me a little homesick, to be honest.
God's damn, Eabis.
I understand what Charnack means, though.
No one should have this power. And using the power, as we have seen, only wreaks more havoc. We must cut it off from this plane until we discover a means to destroy it. That is the only path forward that I can see.
And how do you suggest we do that? We ask the vault to hold it until we come to check it back out?
Indeed. Curator, we shall remember the existence of this artifact after we leave, even though it is held here in perpetuity.
You will know, and you will know what you have chosen. I will not retrieve a book or any item that is left for me and with me. That is not how this works. It is a vault, and you make deposits, but you will not ever take out again. Think of me also as an oven.
All due respect, Paperman. I do not believe you know who you are dealing with.
I know very little outside of the vault, but what is inside the vault is my domain. I am the thing that you fear on every plane, and this is my plane. And there are no people on my plane who I do not beckon to be here with me. I do not say this to threaten you. No, I say this just to give you the truth, something I must do.
Charnack, I think we are dealing with forces that are far beyond us.
Charnack.
Then I believe that only gives us one other option. And I put my hand on the book.
You wish to consume it.
Just waiting for someone else to put their hand on the book.
Well, I'm trying to understand what the fuck you're doing.
I raise an eyebrow.
You could use words.
This moment is too momentous for that. You will talk us to death, Eabis.
Well, you are being fucking cryptic and I don't like it.
Charnack, I do not want this power. I want to sever it.
It is the only option that gives these souls the oblivion they deserve. And giving the power to anyone else is unacceptable.
But correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, but he said if we absorb it,
a new item
something
will be created
else is going
somewhere.
to be created.
Yes, that's correct. And it will not be here, and it will not be. You will not control it. That's correct.
But it will be tied to us.
It will be tied to you.
It's exactly what Fitzroy did. He had a sword, and then they absorbed it, gave life to Desdemona, and then this book was created.
That's right.
And everyone died.
That's right. And not just in Bellanand.
Well,
places
God
too.
damn it. You know, I feel like if someone had explained these things to us before we even went to get the book, we could have thought about this a little more. Maybe absorbed all of these complicated contractual subsections.
We do not want to be tied to this at all, Charnack. This is a force of nature. We have to run away from it. If we can hide it away, that is our best option. The souls in this book, as Eabis said, are damned. And last I checked, none of us knew how to undamn a soul.
I am not a cleric. I am not a god.
I will relinquish this book unto the curator's domain.
I think that is the choice.
Curator.
Yes, we are here.
I would ask one boon of you.
Ask, I do not grant boons, but I will do what I can.
As a collector and cataloger and archivist of magical artifacts, I would know this one's name.
Names are given by people. The mayor called this the Book of Truth. Clorinda, who was the only one who could use this book, she called this Letters Home. The dog, which was the first, raised after death, just called it Rough.
Does it go by any other names?
We will be here longer this way than making a decision.
What do the souls trapped within call it?
They only know that they are not themselves anymore, and that they swim in a sea of darkness and fear and constant catastrophe. They are hungry and they are lonely, and the more they long for others, the more flow into them, the lonelier and more scared they all become.
I still have my hand on the book.
Okay.
Very well. Then I name you Catastrophe.
I will note it in the back corners of my mind where light often flickers out.
I'm going to say, fucking take it. I turn around and storm off.
Dinfa, do you agree?
I turn. Desdemona, I'm so sorry.
Me too. I got 5 years extra. I was able to fall in love again. I was able to do something and be proud of something here as we fought liches and rounded up artifacts like this. It is good here, Dinfa. It is good. The people are good. Fitzroy is good. Don't tarry. Do it. I don't want another moment.
Let us hope you are right. And Eabis reaches over and gives Desdemona a hug. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for what you have done.
Thank you. Check on Bellanand at some point and, I don't know, name a bridge after me or something.
Very well. We will do that.
Desdemona, the city will live on. And that is thanks to you.
Yes, well. Dinfa. A half-orc, a dwarf, and a lady elf walk into a temple. And then the threads are cut. And you never get the punchline to her joke. And she falls down on the ground. And the curator scoops the book up and just sort of slides it inside his own body. And the papers sort of part
and you see another plinth deep inside of him, and he reaches in and puts it on the plinth, and then he closes his body of paper and he reopens his body of paper, and there's another plinth in there, and it is empty, and he says,
"Whenever you find something dangerous or want to consume something, come to me and I will help you. I do not judge. The curator never judges. But it is now done. The snap, the exhale. I feel the book dimming. You may leave."
and the curator moves back into the hallway away from you.
I can't get out of here fast enough.
All right, so
Eabis leaves a little slowly and looks back at Desdemona and just takes a moment and then steps out with a little bit of sorrow and a little bit of pride.
and is Charnack already gone?
Yeah.
All right, so
Charnack stormed off. He was like, I'm not
Yeah.
listening to any of this bullshit.
well, he would not have been permitted to leave until you were unanimous.
But he's like at the door, like,
Yes.
hey,
Yeah.
hey, let's go.
So Markeef is out there, and so is a probably 7 foot tall Goliath, and he's got a long ponytail and braided beard. And when you step out, he says,
"Would you bring her body out? My lover's body. I cannot go in there without a magic item to be destroyed or consumed."
Is the door still open?
the door's still open. You're still like sort of half in.
Let me ask. Like, this is a bigger force than me.
Can I speak to the manager?
I go in. Curator, someone would like Desdemonda's body.
"No, he would bring her back. Get out of my home. Get out of the vault."
And then
Now.
I run out like I've been kicked out by my butt.
Yes. And the door closes behind you, and Fitzroy says,
"He wouldn't even let me bury her."
He would allow nothing.
"I'm proud of what you did. Today a great thing happened. Please, go post everything that you saw in Bellanand about me, about Desdemona, and about what happened with the curator. Post it all into one of our books by the gate. All our Kybers should know one of their own had their contract fulfilled today, and that it was you three, and you, Markeef, who made this happen. Go rest, and come speak to me in my tower when you are ready. I must send you back to Hardat. Things are not good there."
What is happening?
Rest. Collect yourselves. You will not be able to go with Gregor. I'm sending you to a different place.
and he puts his hand on his chest and he looks at you and he says,
"We all make mistakes, and I made a big one. And today you have absolved me of that mistake, and I owe you more than you can imagine. Thank you."
Mighty King Fitzroy, I would request a boon of you.
Jeez, Charnack, give it a minute.
Talk to me when you've rested.
No, we have performed a great duty for you, and now is the appropriate time to ask.
What is it?
And he looks over at Markeith and he says,
You are not like this, but you are also a gnome.
I would request that you go to the market here in the astral plane. Purchase yourself a large plinth. Bring it back to your abode and fuck yourself. And Charnack storms off again.
Jesus Christ. He makes jokes. He makes jokes. I'm grabbing Eabis and like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, the Goliath does not look fucking happy about that. And Markeith follows you out.
Come.
The things we have seen.
He is a good man, but he has a temper. Come. Let's go.
Yes. My legs barely work. I'm just
but
just
look so
wobbling.
much better by comparison.
They're so much
better.
But for some reason, I'm still only at half speed. I just cannot handle what just happened.
So Markeith takes you into it's a stables. It's like a horse stable, and he walks you past 3 gorgeous horses. I'll let you describe them later, but basically you.
Super sexy.
You're going to do colors and everything. But so he walks you in, and there are 3 doors that are at the back of the stable. And one has a big C on it, one has a big D on it, and one has a big E on it. And
amazing how that lines up in the alphabet.
He says,
clearly the one with the big D on it is for me.
I push Charnack out the way and walk in.
In the bonus, we'll do some role play about what's in your rooms, but you are going to get a good rest. You're going to have some time to yourself to think on what happened in Bellanand and to prepare for what's coming next. And you've all gotten another level.
Woo!
Yes.
So we'll be doing a level up in the bonus as
Hell
well.
yes.
So good job, guys.
Do we put the stories in the books first, or do we think on it first and then put the
I think you
stories in the
think
books?
on it first, because there's a chance that you consume that shit and you have to prepare yourself to lie if you're going to in the books.
What?
No one expects you to do this right away, to go put your thing in the book, except for Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald wants you to do it, but no one else would expect that.
I see.
Level 6. And all we had to do was consign thousands of people to eternal torment. The power.
It was already done, Sam. It was already done.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming by, everybody. We're going to go over this in the bonus. I think it's going to be a good one. And we are, oh man, we're moving back to Hardat soon enough.
Hey.
Wow.
I feel a little showdown coming between 2 goblin markets. I love it.
Okay.
All right. A little half hard at.
Thanks for coming by, everybody.
Thanks for coming by. And patreon.com/dungeondads to get that bonus episode.
Awesome.
And so much more.
So much more.
Thanks for coming by.
So much more.